Hey, Wanderers, how are you today? It is frigidly cold across the United States. And if you're like us and you are watching the snow pile up, and it's going to be 10 plus inches here probably, stay safe, stay warm, and let's dream about some warmer locations. If you are in a warm place, please comment down below and let us know where that is because we
Don't
might want
just
to
comment,
visit.
send us some pictures.
Yeah. Post a picture of how warm it is there because a large portion of the U.S. is getting hammered by this. And so all we can do at the moment is dream about being somewhere else. And our Mexico dream comes up shortly.
Can't wait.
Yep, can't wait. By the way, if you haven't been here before, my name is Steve,
And I'm Laura.
and we are the Wandering Empty Nesters. Before we get into today's topic, which is what you can no longer do in Mexico, if you're watching us on Facebook, please take a moment and like this video, maybe comment, and then follow us. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a favor and subscribe there as well. These algorithms, we're trying to 2026, trying to reach as many people as possible. And if you watch without commenting or liking or subscribing, the algorithm just keeps ignoring us. So we're looking for your assistance there.
Word.
Please. I know it's right. I mean, they're supposed to be friendly, but they don't seem very friendly at all. Let's talk about today's topic real quickly, and today's one take, and that is a Mexican law that was passed last year, went into effect January 17th. And while it doesn't really affect us, it is on vaping and all things vaping. They're now illegal. They don't sell them there. You can't use them there. You can't bring them into the country, period. And I know that's going to affect a lot of travelers. And today's, question is this going to make you rethink any visits to Mexico, either by land or by cruise, because it does affect both. And let's talk about real quickly what that looks like. So most cruise ships do still allow you to vape in certain areas on the ship.
Is it the same places as smoking?
Yeah, I mean,
Or can you vape other places that you can't smoke on a ship?
yeah, I'm going to just admit I really don't know. I mean, I'd have to look into it if somebody asked me. No one's ever asked me. And of course, I've never visited any of those places because we don't smoke.
Smells bad.
Well, we don't smoke. And so I don't visit. I would presume it's somewhere near the stack. Or somewhere on the aft or the bow. Those are the most typical places to do things that are outside of people's view or outside of where most people would cross accidentally. It depends on the ship, though, right? Every ship's gonna be a little different. For instance, the aft of the ship on a Royal Caribbean is very often on the newer ships. That's where the wave rider is and some of the other activities. So a lot of people are going to go there anyway. It's not just a viewing area as it is on some ships. So it varies by ship. And it goes along with the very important thing that you should, if you have this need, you should check. You should find out where it is before you travel. Ask your travel advisor where it is so that you can, know where to go and not find yourself in the wrong place doing the wrong thing. So cruise ships were probably the very first ones affected. Margaritaville is widely published as being the first one to go into a Mexican port and make the announcement to the people on the ship, leave it on the ship. And I'm going to tell you, I think this is one of those things that a lot of people can probably get in trouble with accidentally. We see people all the time.
They just carry them in their pocket.
They do.
They don't think about it.
It's part of it, right? It's just what you do on an average. There's no mental thought to it. It's like putting on I was going to say putting on a shirt, but I guess that's not for some people.
It's like throwing your phone in your pocket.
Your phone, that's perfect because no matter what your other habits are, you've got your phone with you.
Right.
We see people go through TSA in American airports all the time and get caught with things, and you think, why? And a lot of times if you read the story or you hear what they say, they forgot. They forgot it was in their bag. They forgot they had it in their pocket. They might just, and this is like, pocket knives, even as far as, in states where people carry firearms all the time, they'll literally have it in their pocket because they put it there every single day. And it just doesn't register that, hey, I'm going to the airport. I can't do that. So going to the airport here, though, is not where you're going to run into a problem. They're going to let you go through with it. Although
you don't want to get in trouble at a Mexican airport.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, there are requirements around vaping. Well, that was with a banana, which is a little bit different, but still the same. So there are stipulations at a U.S. airport about what you can do with vaping material because it has a battery. So you already have to observe those, but they're going to let you pass so long as you do that. But yes, so you arrive in Mexico, particularly now that the law just passed, they are hyper vigilant about looking for it. So they are going to be scanning your luggage, looking for this. They're going to be, looking for, bulges in the pockets or where other people might keep them. And they're going to call you out for it. Now,
They're probably just going to take them.
Well, maybe. I wouldn't say probably, right? Because
hopefully
all of that, I mean, from US TSA to any border crossing anywhere in the world, you breaking the law due to ignorance or forgetting, it's all about who stops you. It's all about, and the person in the next row from you might have a completely different experience than you do on the exact same thing. So it's really not worth the risk. So what is the fine? What was the possibility in Mexico? $12,500 fine. I'm sorry, $12,500 peso
Peso.
fine. Now, here's a little tip, a little extra for you for folks if you want to know a quick roundabout. It'll get you in the ballpark, but based on what the conversion is from day to day or hour to hour, it may not be exact. But when you're dealing U.S. dollars to pesos, and you want to know, well, how many U.S. dollars is this pesos? Drop the zero and divide by two. So 12,500 would get us to 6,250. So, right around 300 and some dollars. That's still a pretty hefty fine.
And not a good way to start a
Not a good
vacation.
way. And you're going to be, I mean, you're going to be upset. But here is the thing about vaping that I think like smoking is really the problem, right? Not a problem. It is for the people who do it because there is both a physical and a mental characteristic to doing this. There are cravings that are occurred because of nicotine, and there's just that mental redundancy of always having something to your mouth or whatever. There's a lot of things about that, and so I think it's one thing on a cruise ship where you can leave it on a cruise ship, you can go out into the port, and when you have that physical craving or that mental craving, that there's relief back in the ship. But you take an all-inclusive or a land base and you fly into Mexico, until you come back, there is no relief. Now, you can do patches and you can do other things. So that might be the answer for you.
Okay, so now they haven't banned cigarettes. They've banned vaping.
Yeah, they have. They have banned
So
vaping.
have they given a reason why vaping? Because you see people smoking on the streets, you see people smoking on the beach, but that's okay. They haven't banned that. They've banned vaping.
It really is. There a reason for any political move at all?
Well, that's true.
So what it comes down to, from what they've said, is a public health thing. I think also what comes down to it is that in vaping, because of the cartridges, there are just so many variations of what can be created inside those liquids.
That's true.
So, and let me add on to that by saying there is no medical exemptions. So if you have a cannabis vape or something like that, and you have a medical exemption that works for you in the U.S., it does not work for you there. They don't care. It's not going to work. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that people who vape and or smoke would make an argument that they're the same, and if they're going to do it for one, they're going to do it for the other. The fact of the matter is, folks, just like anywhere else in the world, it doesn't matter. They passed the law. You now have to do it. The second you step off that ship onto that dock, you are now in the country wherever you went, and you have to follow all their laws to the letter,
or pay their consequences,
which is often a big problem with Americans. We tend to carry over our rights to every other country and just think they are what they are. And this isn't a political show, so we're not going to go down that path. But all people of all countries need to recognize that you're not at home and it's not the same. So the fact is, when you go to Mexico, you have to leave all things vaping at home. And if you're questioning, well, okay, you mentioned cartridges, and I'm sure they're talking about the devices but I do this. I would say if it equals the same result, leave it at home. Now, the option would be patches or those sort of dermal things. Those were not listed. Those are still fine. There are no issues with there. I don't know that there's a patch equivalent for obviously vaping, but I think that's the nicotine part of it where the patches do help out. So that's the thing, folks. If you have a trip planned to Mexico, or you plan to take a cruise with a Mexican port of call, which is probably maybe a lot more people than are taking a land-based right now because cruising being so popular, does this affect your choices? You need to reach out to your travel advisor if you use one and find out what your options are. If you didn't use one, you can reach out to the cruise ships or the cruise lines customer service, and hopefully they can help you out. Always, if you book something on your own within usually 30 days, maybe 60 days, you can always transfer that to a travel advisor to help you out. It's all fine. Remember, there is no charge for a travel advisor's fee. You paid the fee for their services, whether you booked it yourself or your travel advisor did it for you. So why not let them do the work and also help you over all of these rough spots that I'll tell you, most people wouldn't think about this. I mean, especially people who do it things, whatever it is, you do that every day, you vape every day. It's unlikely you're going to consider that when you hop on a cruise ship, but honestly, you need to be refreshed every country you go to. And sometimes with a cruise, that can be multiple countries. So you need to be aware of the rules in every country you go to. That could be, depending upon the length of your cruise, anywhere from 3 to 5 different countries on a single cruise. And they all have different laws. They may share a currency like the peso or the euro, but their laws can be very, very different in what they don't allow. This is an easy way to keep up. And if you weren't aware, I'm glad that we can make you a part of this and make you aware. And hopefully it's not going to affect you. But let us know down in the comments how this affects you. Again, if you are in a warm weather area today, please drop a line, post a picture, let the rest of us live vicariously through you in a warm weather place, because it is cold and the snow is coming down. And if the snow's coming down, you know what? share your misery with us. We'd love to see that from you as well. Anything closing?
Nope. You did a good job.
All right. Thanks, folks. It's great to see you on this Sunday, and we'll see you next time on another One Take.
Thanks for spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this and want more insider tips, real travel stories, and deals that make your bucket list closer than you think, be sure to scan the QR code, hit subscribe, or follow. Why? Because every week we bring you ideas that save you money, inspire your next adventure, and show you how to travel smarter without the stress. Don't just dream about travel. Make it happen with us. Follow now so you never miss your next chance to wander worth.